Okay. There's a problem too in determining ending inventory and the cost of ending inventory. And it's on your handout. I'm not going to do that one here live. What we will do is I will have those answers for you online, and you can do that on your own. If you have any questions, then you can email me and we can resolve those issues there. In your handout, right at the end, you happen to have an in-class problem. This is the third type of problem we'll have on estimating ending inventory. There are two ways to do that. There is the retail method and the gross profit method. Now, I happen to have here, the first one is the retail method. It says the Valley West Company wants to estimate ending inventory without taking a physical count. Valley West has provided you with the following information. And the information tells us what our beginning inventory was, but not just beginning inventory at cost, but ending inventory at retail. Our beginning inventory at retail. I may have said ending, but I meant beginning. It also tells us what the cost of the goods that we've purchased at cost as well as retail. And I have it up here on the board. You'll notice my beginning inventory given to me at 14, I could sell it at 21,500. What I bought was 61, I could sell it at 78,500. The cost of the goods available for sale at cost are 75,000. At retail is 100,000. Now, the information also was given to me as what I sold, but it only told me what I sold at retail. It didn't tell me the cost of the goods that I've sold. I need to try to figure that out. So if I had goods available at 100 that I sold, and I sold 70,000 of these $100,000 of goods, that leaves me ending inventory at 30,000. But that 30,000 is at retail. That's not a figure that I can use. I need ending inventory at cost. So I need to convert the 30,000 to cost. Well, the way that we do that in this format is we come up and we devise a cost ratio. That cost ratio is taking the relationship of the goods available for sale at cost to the goods available at retail. 75 over 100. What relationship is that? 75%. So that says 75% of the ending inventory at retail is cost. Take 75% times the 30,000, and that now says my estimated ending inventory is 22,500. So this is one of two ways to estimate our ending inventory without taking a physical count. Come on back, we'll take a look at the next method. Okay, the next method of estimating ending inventory is called the gross profit method. Now this method, unlike the retail method, does not give you information as to inventory and purchases at cost and retail figures. But what it does give you here that you didn't have before, it gives you the gross profit percentage. Where in the retail method, we had to come up with the relationship of cost and retail, and that gave us the cost ratio. So here, in looking at the problem, I have a company that wishes to prepare a balance sheet at the end of January, but it doesn't want to take a physical count of its inventory, so it needs to estimate that. And the records show that sales are 200,000, beginning inventory is 40,000, and cost of goods purchased are 120. So looking at the ledger, we look at beginning inventory of 40, we look at purchases of 120, and we say we could have sold, that is the goods available for sale, are 160,000. Now I want to show you, this is right at the point where students make a mistake. I have told you that sales are 200,000. Students want to take the 160 and deduct the 200,000 off, and when they do, they get a negative 40,000. And they kind of have a short circuit at that point in time, saying, how could I have a negative figure? You had me selling more inventory than I actually had. And the answer is no. The cost of the goods available for sale of 160, that's at a cost figure. Sales, again, you don't sell things at cost, you sell them at a markup. So that is marked up. What I need to do is I need to figure out of the 120 how much is cost. Going back to the problem tells me in the preceding year's gross profit percentage was 30%. So my profit was 30%. So of the 200,000, 30% was profit. Well, if 30% was profit, 70% was the cost. So I've got to convert the 200 to cost of goods sold. Take 70% times the 200, and my cost of goods sold of the units that I sold is 140. Now what you can do is say, I've got 160 that's available for sale. What I sold was $200,000 at the retail price, but the cost of those items was 140. So if I've got 160 and I sold 140, I have left 20,000. This method is often used by insurance adjusters. The inventory is gone. You put in a claim, you want to be reimbursed, but you can't go out and count it because it's gone. A flood, a fire, an earthquake, something happened to it. It's not available to count. So you estimate what your ending inventory is. Often auditors will use this. They observe the taking of the inventory. They will estimate what they think the number will be. And then when the number is provided, they can say, is it close to what I estimated to be? If it's close, then I'm pretty sure it's right. If it's way off, I got to figure out why it's off. Now, I know the retail method and the gross profit method are in the appendix of the chapter. That doesn't mean you can blow it off and it's not going to be tested on. I'm telling you, I'm guaranteeing you, I'm going to test on these two. You need to know that.